Well, they finally did it. Tesla lowered the subscription price of full self-driving by a whopping 50%. There was already some suspicions that Elon was going to do this because so much of the Tesla community was coming together saying, hey, if you want to increase the take rate, more people could afford it at a lower price. Technically, if the take rate is much higher, that way you would bring in more revenue. Elon was liking some of these tweets, but I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. I honestly thought he was going to wait until the end of the full self-driving free trial launch, which would be near the end of April, but no, they just decided to cut the price right then and there. And also some changes to how much 3 months of full self-driving cost in the referral program. I know it doesn't necessarily affect everybody, but if you just get one referral, like you recommend someone else buy a Model S, X, or Y, still no Model 3 included. I hope that comes soon. But currently they offer you 7,500 credits for referring someone. That is enough to now buy 3 months of full self-driving for 6,000 credits, and you'll still have 1,500 credits left over, which you can redeem on 500 miles of free charging. So you refer one person and they get $300 worth of FSD and, I don't know, probably 40 bucks worth of free charging, which is pretty cool. But so far we haven't seen any evidence of the price changing for enhanced autopilot customers. So it's sounding most likely right now that FSD is just 100 bucks a month for everyone. So even if you bought enhanced autopilot, you don't get any price discounts for the subscription. You only get, of course, that discounted rate for if you want to unlock the full self-driving package. You still got to spend the other $6,000. So no changes to the upfront cost of FSD, but in case you missed it, Tesla once again in the second quarter as well is letting people transfer full self-driving for free if they upgrade their car. Personally, I'm predicting that Tesla should just keep letting people transfer FSD. It's been 2 quarters in a row now that they've said, okay, you know what? If you buy a new Tesla, we'll let you transfer FSD to the new one. Just let it be infinitely transferable at this point. Maybe if we get to the point where it starts to become level 3, level 4, and it's like truly autonomously driving around with nobody paying attention or nobody in the driver's seat at all, that's when I think you could kind of get away with locking it to the car and not letting it transfer to other cars. But at least for now, like, yeah, of course, people should be able to move FSD over, especially now that there's a lot of definitive evidence that most people in the resale market are not willing to pay much extra for the car if it has FSD. I think having FSD is not going to help your resale value all that much, knowing that you can just subscribe to it for 99 bucks a month if you so desire. Now seeing this price cut and how positively it's being received by much of the Tesla community, I would not be surprised if this results in a fairly noticeable uptick in the take rate, because knowing that it's not in the triple figure territory of subscription pricing and it's probably close to the price a lot of people are paying for insurance, it's just so much easier to stomach if you're into full self-driving and it performs well where you live. Unfortunately, mine, for whatever reason, I guess I live in a rural area and it's not good at that. It's been sucking. Like last night, just 5 minutes into my night drive, it asked me to take over immediately, and sometimes I'll have like perfectly clear weather and it keeps beeping at me, interrupting the music, saying full self-driving degraded. I don't know why. Maybe there's just bug guts on the camera, but I can't stop the bugs from splatting on those things, and it's happening pretty frequently. So personally, 100 bucks a month even is difficult to justify for me, but I will continue to use it for the remainder of the month just so that I fully understand it and I can grasp the performance of it around where I live. But the other thing worth talking about is the fact that buying it outright for $12,000 just became even more difficult to justify, because at 99 bucks a month, we're now saying that for about $1,200 a year, you can just subscribe to FSD instead of pay for it, which means you would have to pay for full self-driving every single month for 10 years before it's actually worth paying for it outright instead of subscribing to it, which also means the subscription price of FSD is now cheaper than most people's ownership length of cars. Most people hold on to cars for about 8 years, so knowing that the break-even point for paying for it outright is 10 years, and especially when we don't exactly know when full self-driving is going to become level 4, level 5, or if the NHTSA is going to allow it, even if it does become super safe and superhuman. Yeah, at this point, like, I don't care how interested in full self-driving you are, even if you personally believe that all of these cars are going to become robotaxis next year, I cannot recommend anybody spend the $12,000. That's just an insane price, unless Tesla starts offering some other great perk with FSD, like you have a lifetime license with it, so like every Tesla you buy from here on out will get free FSD if you spend the $12,000 now. There's got to be some other perk to justify spending that much much money on a software package so early. But I think this is a great move on Tesla's part. Obviously, cheaper would be better. It'd be a lot easier to stomach if it was 50 bucks a month or 40 bucks a month, and I was still in favor of the paying for it by the mile concept, but that's probably just going to be too complicated software-wise, and Tesla probably doesn't want to discourage people from using it by paying per mile. So this, I think, is a great first step. It's so nice to finally see them move full self-driving in a more reasonable pricing direction. You know, the jump from 15,000 to 12,000 was not super noticeable, but I must admit, it is kind of funny when people complain to me about how, oh, you think you know more than Elon, or Elon knows what he's talking about. Well, I remember back in 2022 where Elon said once full self-driving goes to wide release, as in no more beta program, no more safety score requirements, that's when the subscription of FSD will go higher. He said it would go more than 200 a month, and here we are today. Turns out, nope, it's actually never been more than 200 a month. Now it's half that at 99 bucks a month, and hopefully they launch this option in other countries as soon as possible, but we'll just have to wait and see how the rollout goes. But I think the take rate is probably going to close to double or triple with the subscription price being so much more affordable. But I'd love to hear your guesses and thoughts down in the comments below. And thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. It seriously helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again. Have an excellent rest of your day.